Welcome to the Self First Podcast. I'm your host, Amber Anderson, but you can just call me Coach A. This is a space for growth, healing, and wholeness. Learning to love others, but not losing yourself. Today's episode is very special to me. It's called Listen to the Kids, Bro. If you don't know, that's an old Kanye West reference from a few years ago. But this episode was not in my original 12-week episode list. However, I'm an educator and I have kids at my school that's saying, I want to watch the podcast. Can I be on the podcast? Well, I can't put these kids on the podcast, but what I can do is I can put my kids on the podcast. So today's episode, I have my guys with me and I'm really just going to listen. This is really about listening to the kids, allowing them the space to be able to say some things that us adults need to hear. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I got Kobe over here, and Kobe, it's been about a month since I seen you. You came back home for Christian's birthday about a month ago. Yeah, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
All right, good evening. My name is Kobe. I attend USC Upstate, and I'm currently in the Army National Guard.
And this is Christian over here. I just seen you last night, band competition, state band competition. I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Christian. I attend high school currently. Marching band season just ended, but I'm still in the JROTC. So
awesome. And as we have this conversation, guys, I know this is probably something that's different. We can glance at the camera here and there, but really we want to talk to one another too. So you don't have to be focused and feeling like you got to look at the camera at all times, because, you know, I don't know if y'all listen. Have y'all listened to an episode yet?
Yeah, I've listened to a couple.
You listened to one?
Two, yeah.
Christian, I'm about to say, you're not on social media like that, so you probably haven't even seen the promos for it. But with these podcasts, we got them on Apple Podcasts where you just listen. We got it on Spotify where you can just listen, or you can watch with us on YouTube. But let's go ahead and get this episode started. Like I said, this episode is all about me listening to y'all. And we're going to start off with just really reflecting on who you are and who you are becoming. So my first question for you guys is, how would you describe who you are right now? Not just what you do, but who you are becoming.
I would say I'm trying to just become a better, I want to say listener per se, like just really taking in the knowledge and taking in the words that other people are giving me, not taking it as criticism, but more so as a way to grow almost. And I feel like that I have done that fairly well. Obviously, there's still room to grow in that area, but I feel like I've done that pretty well. I feel like I've also just taken like time to just reflect and actually just learn from that. Like, not everybody's perfect, so I know that what I do or what I might say or what I'm probably going to do in the future isn't going to be the best of things, but just learning from those things and learning that you can always be a better version of yourself each and every day is something that I am currently like working on, and something that I'm actually finding more about myself about.
Okay.
Working on that.
So when you say that you are trying to be more of a listener, have that always been your case? Like, would you say you were like that in your teenage years because you just turned 20? Or do you feel like you're just now getting to that point where it feels like listening might be important right now?
No, for sure. I definitely feel like listening is very important. I would say in my younger years, I definitely listened, but I just didn't process it, like in one ear, out the other kind of thing. But now I'm trying to actually like listen, process it, and give like good feedback if I have to, or give good or feedback if it is necessary. But I definitely think that from, I want to say around when I turned like 17, 18, I kind of realized like I need to like dial in a lot more. Gotcha. As far as like life goes. Okay. Because like, as I've heard from you or like my mom, like it definitely hits you kind of like out of nowhere. Listening is definitely a key factor, and just learning from other people and actually hearing what they're saying and processing it is something I've been trying to work on for sure.
That's good. All right, I'm gonna come back to something I think, if I remember. You can help me. It's gonna be about unlearning some of the things that you are listening to, or like accepting or choosing not to accept those things. But we'll be back. I'm gonna let Chris talk. Chris, so who do you feel like you are becoming? Not just what you do, but who you are becoming right now.
For a second.
That's fine.
I mean, as a person, just not being subject to what everybody says about what I do, whether that be just being myself, more of a like Christian, and not of this is what I want Christian to do, or this is what I think Christian should do, or like, hey, know you like doing this, but I think you'd look good if you did that. More of being more of myself, like, you know.
Authentic. Yeah.
Like music, while I haven't been doing that recently or like much in this time, I could start doing that back again, like music production specifically, other than just, you know, marching band, which is production in a way, just not very personal to me. So
Gotcha. Okay. That's good. I definitely feel like I see you becoming and just being authentic in who you are. You might would say the same. Like, do you feel like over the years you see Christian just becoming comfortable with being who he is, or do you feel like that's always been Chris?
No, yeah, I definitely see him like branching out into more areas of his expertise and just being more comfortable in those areas of his life rather than not exactly letting someone tell him what to do, because that's just what's going to happen, but kind of learning what's best for him in a way. Like, he learned that he has passion about marching band and he has passion about NJRTC and like things like that he discovered on his own that he actually like cares about, rather than people telling him like, you should play sports, you're this tall, you're this fast, like you should do track, but that's just not what he wants to do. And I think that's good that he found something that he actually likes to do, for sure. Because if you get a job you don't like it, you're not going to be there for a long time. So finding something that you actually like to do is, I'm definitely proud of him for doing that, for sure.
And we just kind of talked about that too. Like, and I'll go ahead and ask you, Chris, like, I feel like I was nervous as you were a little younger, knowing that I'm a coach. I love sports. Your mom loves sports more than any of us, I believe. Kobe was playing football, basketball at one point, doing track. So I was just worried that you might will feel pressure to feel like you have to fit in with the sports fanatic in your household. Did you ever feel that pressure, or you weren't bothered?
I mean, no, ma'am, not really, other than track in like 7th grade, or not 7th, 8th grade period of time, I'll say, that I attempted to do some track things, specifically pole vaulting. When I attempted that, I mean, it was entertaining for the period of time that I did it. But in the end, it just wasn't really what I wanted to do. So
I got you.
But it never really insanely bothered me that, you know, everyone else was a sports fanatic in the house and I wasn't really there with them.
Yeah, and it showed. I mean, when we were trying to get you to lock in the track, it was like you kept getting on the school bus and coming home instead of staying for practice. And I'm like, he's just gonna do what he want to do, ain't he? But, you know, looking back, I think we just wanted to get you to commit to what you signed up for in that moment. However, it was totally clear and we understood that track was not going to be what you were going to do. And we just let that be the case. But back to you, Kobe, you said, going back to the listening part, as you were talking, I was thinking about agreements. It's a book called The 4 Agreements. I love that book. You shaking your head like you might know it.
The 4 Agreements.
Okay. It might be a good book to read, but it talks about what you agree to in life and what you don't agree to, how people can give you information and advice and different things like that. And we agree or we don't agree. So as you say that you're at this place in life right now that you are listening a lot and receiving information and wanting to give feedback and different things like that, or choose what you receive, do you find yourself sometimes choosing to agree or not agree, or choosing to unlearn some things that you might have agreed to in the past? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Whenever you do something wrong, people give feedback, people take it as criticism, but there's something I've learned about called like constructive criticism. It's like criticism that's meant to help you learn from what you did. And there's certain things that you should take in and actually understand and process. And there are some words that you should block out. Like certain things that certain people say, like you don't have to listen to them, because it could be things like jealousy or just hatred or just other things of that sort that they're just trying to get into your head.
Yeah.
But some people actually care and they're just giving you criticism. Like if I'm writing a paper and I give it to my mom to like read over and she's like, hey, this, and this is like bad, but you take it as like she thinks my whole paper sucks. No, she's just telling you like you have to fix these parts and it'll make the overall paper look better.
Right.
Like those kind of things. So I've definitely been able to separate like constructive criticism and people actually helping me versus people that just want to just to talk, pretty much.
I always want to find the negative.
Yeah, like
putting
just
you
trying
down.
to pick at you, yeah.
That's good. When you think about my generation and your generation, what do you feel like makes your generation different from mine? Who wants to maybe take that one first? You want to go, Chris?
I'll go first. Other than the obvious big one, which is technology and the advancement of that and how people use it, I feel like the only other difference is just people's attitude towards each other, really. Just how we've chosen to express ourselves to other people. Like how in your... When were you born?
Say that again.
When were you born?
87.
So like...
Maybe tell all my business on the podcast. That's okay.
Just like how you would approach someone and say, hi, how are you? This is my name. This is who I am. Would be very different from how you do that today. I mean, between then and now, I'm not sure if you could just go up to anyone and say that, because some people might think you're just weird. People might be like,
Yeah.
what? Are you? But
Yeah. I feel like you might think that I live back in
in
segregation or something like that. Like I can't go up and talk to people.
Saying, like,
I get what you're saying.
Now people are more like, I guess,
Accepting. Yeah.
So just kind of going based off of what Christian said about attitude, I definitely think that love in the 80s and 90s was and still is a lot more different than how it is for the newer generation. Like for an example, you see couples now that's like 60, 70, they're 80 years old and they're still married, but you see people who are 25 years old and they're divorced or they're broken up by 28 and you're like, why did that happen? How did that happen? It's because I feel like back then you definitely took more time to truly understand what you're getting into and who you're getting into, and just truly like not only just trusting the process of who you're talking to, but also actually loving them. Like it was definitely a lot more genuine, I feel like, and just the fact that it wasn't rushed. Like an example for now is you see your best friend is dating a new girl and you're thinking like, okay, I have to match him now. I have to go get me a girl. And you just pick and choose somebody random, but you don't actually love that person. You're just doing it out of spite because your whole friend group has a girlfriend and you're the only one that doesn't have one. And I feel like nowadays that's kind of how it is because you're comparing yourself to other people instead of just taking time to first discover yourself and then
first
going out and discovering other people. Because if you yourself aren't fixed, then you can't go out and expect someone else to be fixed or for them to fix you, basically. Like, and I just feel like that's a drastic difference between now and the older generation, because I feel like they truly understood what it takes to love someone and what it takes to keep loving them without having to like force it or without having to feel pressured about it. And I don't know if that's just because of the environment that they were around or if that's just times were just different back then. So
what do you think about like social media? Do you feel like social media might put that pressure on people? Because, you know, we get on social media nowadays and you see the couples, like Halloween costumes are coordinated, the gift exchanges. I mean, we're even having like a big public display of will you be my boyfriend, will you be my girlfriend type stuff. So like when it comes to your relationships that y'all have now, do you feel like things might move fast because maybe social media makes you feel like you have to do this, and this in order for it to be real?
Yeah, I definitely think that social media plays a drastic role in a lot of the newer generation relationships, because you'll see two celebrities or two couples together and you'll see whoever you're with, vice versa, whether it's male or female, they'll say, you haven't got me flowers in 2 weeks, but this guy went out and just bought her girl flowers in a new car, and now you're like, oh, I have to match this. And like, you know, it's like, it's like I have to match this. And now it feels like almost when you do get her flowers, it's because she told me to, not because I wanted to, basically. You know, like you didn't go out of your way because you love her. You did it because she told you to out of spite for someone else's happiness, you know, and
someone else's happiness. So it's not even for their happiness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like you see her best friend is having a birthday at Longhorn, but you took her out to Golden Corral and she's just like, you know, it's just like
it's about the same price, low key.
Yeah, it really is. But it's just the title of the restaurant is what most people are looking for. Just the title of having things that other people don't have, or just matching up with other people is like that is what I feel like defines most love nowadays, and that's what kind of controls how you love the other person, because you're constantly comparing yourself to other people and you're constantly wanting to match up to somebody else or even be better than them at what they're at. But then once you're there, you realize that it was all for nothing because now you don't have anything but what they had. So
yeah, piggybacking off of what he said, like comparing yourself to what you usually see on the internet, like people comparing zodiac signs, like say I'm a Virgo, I might not be compatible with like a Taurus, Tundra. I forgot to say it, but
Tundra. I think
I thought
Tundra
that
is a
was like-
vehicle.
I thought that was second T. I don't know. I just
Taurus
chose
is correct.
Taurus, yeah.
Mhm.
Just
You chose out of all the zodiac signs, you chose the one you can't say.
I couldn't think of any other system.
Go ahead.
But like I might not be compatible with that, says someone on the internet, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, now everyone in the month of April I can no longer date or something.
Yeah, that's-
Man, I remember those days. I got all kind of zodiac books up there because I really was like, oh, that's why that relationship failed.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I get it, especially as guys that have these expectations, probably by the girls that you date. Like, do you give in to that pressure of, all right, let me show up for them and social media, or do you kind of try to balance it?
I'll say for me, I definitely try to balance it. If there's a situation where, like, let's say, for example, like Julia sees somebody and she sees that one of her friends got flowers, but I haven't got her flowers in like 6 months. That's a bit more of like a,
It might be about time.
yeah, it might, it might be about time, but it's like, that's a bit more of an understandable, like, okay, like,
Get some flowers.
yeah, like you're giving, like, it's like just like low effort, no effort kind of thing. But if it's a situation where it's like she sees someone and she's getting taken out to dinner every other night and she wants that same kind of treatment, it's like you gotta be like a little bit more reasonable in that kind of area. So it definitely, it plays an incredible role on relationships nowadays for sure, because people see couples that drive like nicer cars or live in nicer houses, and now you're looking at yourself and your spouse like, why aren't we them?
Okay.
So,
Any pressure or no?
I mean, personally, from like me, it's like if the first problem is that not problem, but situation is that you're comparing what we have, like us two, and adding someone else that you probably don't really even know them to the relationship.
right.
Because if it's a relationship, it's supposed to be between me and you.
Yeah.
Not
right.
me, you, and two other people that are on
Right.
the internet.
Mhm.
Right.
So, like, comparing what we have to what someone else has on the internet, it's like, it kind of hurts a little because it's like, I went out my way or you went out your way to build this relationship that we have. And now that you're expecting me to do all these things that someone else is doing for their partner,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm doing this for you because it's what I thought you'd like. And
Right.
Yeah.
because I love you,
Yeah.
but you want me to do this because someone else loves them. And
Right. And we don't even know if that somebody else truly
Yeah.
loved
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
Truly loved
Yeah,
their
'cause-
person.
Yeah.
That's true. Because a lot happens behind the screen. Like, you don't know, like,
Yeah.
you see day in life videos, but that's not their every single day in the life.
Mhm.
Or you see a morning routine. Like, they don't do that every morning.
Right.
Most of it's for content, but you
I
can't-
definitely
you
do it
can't
for
take,
content.
Yeah, like you can't take the highlight of somebody's day and think they do that every day, and now you want to do that when you don't realize how
Mhm.
high maintenance that might be. Like, there's definitely two faces to social media when you see the happiness of somebody else versus you don't know what they're actually going through behind the screen.
That's a good word right there. Like, don't take the highlight of someone else's life and look down on your own life
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that, because
for
it's
sure.
just a highlight reel. I mean,
That's
when I
all it
get
is.
my
It's just-
content in the morning, I come down here, I put my coffee on,
Yeah.
and choose the best mug in
Yeah.
the
You
cabinet.
might have
Like,
to wash it
yeah,
instead.
but that ain't my day every day. I don't
Yeah.
even wake up in time to do that every morning. So
Yeah.
that's a good point. So let's get back to some of these questions. So if you had to pick one word to describe where you currently are in this season of life, what would it be and why? I'll let Christian go first.
I think it'd just be discovery because, like, as I'm only a sophomore in high school, I'm still finding out more things about myself. Like, I'm going into yearbook next semester, so I'll be able to get more hands-on experience with photography and see if I'll be able to expand on that skill that I have from that. But still just finding out who I am, like who Christian truly is.
How do you feel about that discovery? Like, when you self-discover, does it always feel good? Is it pretty? Does it sometimes feel ugly? Is it ever disappointing? Like, how do you feel about discovery?
I mean, it depends on what I am, like what I'm finding out. It could be like when I donated my blood a few weeks ago, like
Yeah.
I figured out I was type O negative, which was interesting because I honestly didn't know.
Right.
And that was a more positive discovery because I figured out I was like, oh, my blood can go to anyone who needs it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it could also be negative to me physically because it's like
Everybody can't
I
give
can
you.
I can only get my type of blood. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's good. I want to kind of move away from that identity part of myself. I'll say I'm in a phase of trust, just learning to trust more and learning to trust others more. Like not even trusting the process, but more so just trusting that everything's going to work out as long as I do what I have to do to make sure that it's going to work out. Not exactly like overthinking, like I'm studying for this test and I'm thinking like I'm still going to fail, even though I study for 2, 3 hours. Like just trusting in myself that it's going to work and not exactly forcing myself to do extra, which in the long run would probably hurt me because I'm doing more than I have to do
Yeah.
instead of just sticking to what I already know. So that's definitely a part of my life that I'm right now really trying to grasp and really gain everything that I can while I'm still in this moment
Mhm.
of myself.
I think I sent you a podcast maybe a few months ago
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the 20s being so critical of the years of your life as adulthood. And even though they're critical, it really is the time to trust and let things fall apart if they have to fall apart so you can pick them back up. You're not in that space of life where you have the house and all this stuff that can be taken from you if you don't pay the bills and all that stuff. So like if you're gonna learn some lessons, learn them right now because it
Well,
might
yeah.
not mess up some too much stuff. When I learn lessons right now in my life, it might cost me a few things. It has cost me a few things. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like that you are in that space of trusting and knowing that it's all gonna work out for sure. So that's good. That's real good. And I think that kind of leads us into our next question. So when you think about your future and what you want it to look like, do you feel pressure from me, from your mom, from society, or even yourself?
Yeah, you're definitely going to feel pressure because if you don't, that means you either you're not doing something right or you're not trying your hardest. I definitely feel like that the pressure that I would feel more so is disappointment. I fear, or more so, not disappointment, but like just letting like you guys down or like letting myself down because I have the regret of me not trying my hardest. And you only get like, there's only certain times or certain moments that you get to try your hardest. And when you don't do it at that time, then that opportunity fades the
Mm.
next day. So that's definitely something that I'm trying to be more aggressive about. Just making sure that I'm doing everything that I can in that moment so that that way when I look back, I know that I did everything that I could in my power to make that happen and I don't have regrets
Yeah.
about it. So yeah, that's pretty
And that
much.
sounds like good pressure. You know, they say
Yeah,
things like diamonds are created under pressure and different
yeah.
things like that. Do you ever feel any like negative or bad pressure when it comes to society or even your parents? Do you feel pressure to have to be a certain way or a certain person or a certain status in life?
I wouldn't exactly say right now in my phase of life, but in the past, I have like an example of me playing football. I've seen some of my friends that play at a higher level, like D2, D1 football, and that was really my end goal in my phase of football. And it definitely kind of like rattled me a little bit because when I realized the closer I got to my senior year of high school, like I'm not going to play at those high levels of football, it kind of made me think that could I have gone harder? Or could I have done better? Could I have taken it more serious? And maybe I would have been in a better position like some of them are. So just like little things like that definitely have affected me, but you still have to keep going. Like life's going to keep life and it's not going to pause for you or anybody else. So you still have to keep going. As far as the parent part goes, I would say that, and this just depends on where your parents came from, what background they came from, but you definitely, I feel like at a young age, you have instilled in your mind, like you need to go to college, you need to get a degree, you need to have a good paying job, you need to surround yourself by a good group of friends. And even now, I still not struggle with that, but I still find myself trying to make sure that I am doing those things and making sure that I am in the right group of friends and staying on top of schoolwork and just handling all my responsibilities the right way so that in the future it doesn't affect me.
apologies. What was the question?
That's
Sorry,
fine.
that's it.
So when you think about your future, do you feel pressured?
I'd say it's more pressure from myself. Pressure from myself not to disappoint other people or disappoint y'all specifically because, if I go down a bad path, I'm going to be disappointed in myself in the long run. Like, how did I get here? Why did I get here?
Mm.
Like, if y'all saw me now at that point, how would y'all feel? So, I just feel pressure on myself just to necessarily be a I guess, bad person in the future or
Gotcha.
upcoming years.
But you would say, both of y'all would say that you don't feel the pressure to have to perform for us or to, be a certain person that you're not. Do you ever feel those type of pressures, or you feel like you have the freedom to be who you are?
No, I definitely feel like that. Growing up around y'all definitely have let us just be who we want to be. Like, you never really forced, like, you have to be this kind of person just because I seen this person tell me this kind of person kind of thing. Like, y'all haven't really ever forced anything on us. You kind of let us just branch out and do our own thing, but still support us as we're doing those things. And I definitely appreciated that because not most kids can say that. Most kids that have like a father mother background that played D1 football or played D1 basketball, they're gonna want their kids to do the same, and not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah.
So when you force that upon like someone that's 9-10 years old, and you can see that they aren't enjoying what they're doing, but you're still forcing them because that's what you did, and you want them to continue your legacy, continue doing what you're doing, it definitely can hurt them mentally because it's like, did my parents really love me kind of thing? Like, I'm just doing this because they want me to do it. I'm not doing it because I want to do it.
Yeah. Trying to live their life through their kids.
Yeah.
There's also some situations where it's like, I want my kid to be able to do some of the things that I wasn't able to do, even if they aren't necessarily enjoying it. It's like, if you spent your entire life playing football, but you truly wanted to play basketball, now you're going to, instill that on your kid for their life goal to be like in the NBA or
Right.
something like that. And even if they don't truly like basketball, it's like, this is a good career to be in.
Yeah, and I see it all the time, especially for me. I think as a coach, I see some people that parents seem to want it way more than the kids. And it's almost like, listen to the kids, bro. They trying to tell you that this ain't what they want to do.
Yeah.
So I can get that for sure. Have you ever dealt with comparing yourself to your friends and maybe the big things they've done or the big things that they have? How do you handle comparison? How do you deal with it? Or do you feel like you compare?
I definitely do compare, but I also take into account like who they are, what background they come from, where they were raised, who they were raised by. Like, the way I was raised by y'all two, by other mother,
By your mom. Other mother.
Others.
We do not say other mother. Your mama.
by my mom. Like, I take that into account. Like, when I see somebody has like a 5.6 GPA or something like that.
Not my story. Not my story.
Yeah, it's like, I know they were raised in a different household. They had different treatments. They have a different way of life that, like, they might wake up at 5 a.m. versus me waking up at like 6 or 6:30 specifically. I do compare, of course, because I feel like that's just kind of human nature.
Do you feel like it's truly a different household, a different way that you were raised is the reason why some people might have that higher GPA?
I mean, I'm not saying it's strictly that. I'm just
Okay.
like, more like, people could be raised in like a more formal, strict way. So that's why they have a higher grade point average, because they're expected to have this.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then they're punished for that. Or
That's
something
true.
like that.
Yeah. No.
Like an example of that is like VJ Escombe. Like, he
Who?
said VJ Escombe, the NBA player, he
Okay.
lived off a generator. And nowadays, NBA players really don't have that drive
Oh, I saw
anymore
that.
to really like play at a high level. They're just there for the money, but he actually enjoys playing the game of basketball. Like, he plays it, yes, for the money as well, but just because he has something to prove, pretty much. And you don't see that much passion nowadays in certain sports. So just seeing people that they didn't grow up in the greatest of environments and having to put forth extra effort to be where they are now versus people who kind of had it all, you definitely see just a different level of how they play or how they perform in whatever they perform in, just because one could be more greedy because they came from living off a generator, but one could be like, I'm cool with having $1 million a year because I'm in the NBA, but is that really like enough, basically?
And I feel like, and this is just my opinion, but I feel like in this time of age, we don't allow our kids to struggle much or get it out the mud. We want to make it easy. And I get that. I get that from a perspective of, I had a struggle life, so I don't want my kids to struggle. I'm not saying like legit be out here living in your
Yeah,
car
yeah.
type struggle life.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't just make the path so easy because they didn't work for it. So I definitely think for me as a parent, your mom and I talk about this a lot when it comes to allowing y'all the space to learn. In our opinions, learning sometimes come from understanding that you got to go out here and get it. I can't just give it to you. So yeah, I definitely feel like from the standpoint of how you were raised,
Yeah.
those are good points. What's one way parents, any parent, not just your parents, but what's one way parents can better support their kids' dreams without trying to control them?
Be there when they need those materials.
Mm-hmm.
If like it might not even be a physical thing, it could be a mental thing. They just need someone to talk to, just to be there when they, not for every little like problem they have, because of course they're gonna have to figure out some things on their own in their path to whatever they want to do. Like
Yeah.
if like I keep using basketball, but like saying
You almost sound like you want to be a basketball player. I mean, we got a couple of years. We can still figure this out.
But it's like if the kid is practicing and you're just like on the sidelines and every time they miss a shot you're trying to direct them to the book correct way to shoot a shot, like that's gonna mess them up because they're gonna be like, or in a high stress situation in an actual game, they're not gonna have you to be able to correct them when they miss a shot, or they're not gonna be able to go back in time and have that correction. So it's like, let them make mistakes because that's how they're gonna be able to learn. That's how they're gonna be able to grow in that field.
Gotcha.
Because if they're always being guided, then they're not gonna, when they're truly on their own, they're not gonna know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I seen a quote. I'm not sure where it's from, but it was basketball related, and it was, just because every ball goes in the net the same way doesn't mean that everybody has to shoot the same. Like just because.
And they don't. I see.
Yeah, like everybody shoots differently. Everybody's gonna have different form, but the ball's gonna go in the net the same way. Like the points are still gonna accumulate the same way. A 3-point is still gonna be a 3-point no matter how it goes in. So I feel like taking that and using that in the real world, like experience, like no matter how or what your kid does, your support is gonna always be support. Like whether you're in rain, sleet, or snow, like if you're outside and they're in rain and you're the only parent in the stands, like that's gonna mean the world to them because they see that nobody else's parent showed up, but mine showed up.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. And even if it's like, just little stuff like that, like could like be like a game changer for somebody, for sure.
So y'all are saying support, be there even when they fall, even if their dream isn't your dream as a parent, still support them along the way.
Yeah.
That's love. That's what love is. I think ultimately when we really try to give unconditional love, that is unconditional love. I think where we fail is that sometimes in life as humans, we give conditional love, and the condition might be you're not doing what I wanted you to do. So I'm going to pull my support back. I'm going to pull my love back. And that's not how you love, period. It's definitely not how you love your kids. Support. Parents, they said support. Show up every single time.
All you got to do.
So Kobe, you said earlier, you talked about something that you felt like my generation did a little different, and that's take more time to love. And you might even not been talking about my generation. You might have been talking about my mama them generation. It took a little longer. Not took a little longer, but took time in loving people. The word that they might have used back in the day was courting people, dating people, and not rushing it. So that sounded like something that you were saying that the older generation got right, that maybe we or y'all might not always get right. But what's something that you think your generation gets right that my generation or older might not see or might not get right?
I would definitely say music. Something that this generation, that we think is right that the older generation might not think is, be more specific, mostly rap music per se, like the more explicit songs. Because you'll definitely hear older, like that's racket, that's just noise, like they're just saying stuff. But
racket.
but like to us,
turn that racket off.
Yeah, but like to us, we find that like interesting, like it hypes us up, it like makes us feel all kind of different emotions, and we understand what they're saying. But to someone older, they're going to think that they're just saying gibberish. And music is has evolved and will can always continue to evolve. But I think that that's one big thing to me that the two might not click on as well, because in the 70s and 60s and 80s, you had like Whitney Houston, you had
Music.
you had calmer, better music, like more real per se, like real life music. And now you just have like, let me get you turned for the game you're about to go play. Even in some songs, like you sing the lyrics, but you don't actually hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
And those kind of things that, like, if I sing a song and I hear it, and my grandma hears it, she's gonna be like, "What is this boy saying?" And like, what's like? But when she plays an R&B song, and I'm like, this song's too intimate to me, but to her, that's just what she grew up on. That's just music. That's just what she grew up around, and that's just what they listen to. So music's definitely something. Rap per se is what we think is cool, or like what we're used to, but an older generation might think that that's just noise.
And I get it. And believe it or not, it was probably the same. Like when I was y'all's age, my parents felt like, what's that gibberish that y'all are listening to? Like, turn that stuff off. But then, years later, I become a parent. And if y'all remember correctly, like, I wouldn't play explicit music in the vehicle with y'all growing up. What we was listening to?
It was R&B, just like Lauryn Hill, Whitney Houston.
New Edition and Toby.
Yeah, Toby Maguire. That was,
What do you think, Chris? I mean, you're a music guy. How you feel about it?
I mean, there's a lot of different artists. You could say, I mean, I'm not saying any of these artists are on the same scale as the other ones, but like you could say Whitney Houston, Doechii, Kendrick, and Ice Cube or something. I don't know.
That's a good one.
I'm supposed to say, like, those two definitely wouldn't be on the same wavelength personally, but like, if you listen to a older Kendrick song versus an older Ice Cube song, like those are going to be two entirely different songs. Like, you're not going to get the same feeling for those. It's mostly the Kendrick. Like, if you ask someone, like, most people will say they like Kendrick's old music more than they like his new music. But like, personally, I like Humble DNA. There's obviously older songs. Like if I played I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston versus Anxiety by Doechii and asked someone in this generation to recognize one of these songs, more people would probably recognize Anxiety than Whitney Houston.
Yeah, but they're both great songs. I actually like both of them. Okay, I kind of want us to talk about how you've grown your mindset over time and what you might have thought in the past you might not think so much nowadays. What's something that you used to believe about life, success, or manhood that you don't believe anymore?
I'm not saying it's not an issue or a problem that is still going on, or that it's just a figment of our imagination, but like toxic masculinity in, I guess, manhood, it definitely was something that affected me a lot. I mean, it still does, of course. It's something that affected me way more then, because it's like, oh, you're a man. You shouldn't be able to do this. Oh, you're a man. You should know how to knock someone out in like one punch or something like that. But like, all I know about one punch, that's kind of...
I mean, some people do.
Yeah.
No, I get what you mean. Like change a tire or like certain things like that. Like,
like you should know how to deconstruct a bed, put it on your truck, and tie it down to make sure it doesn't move at all. And I feel like in this generation more, it's like some of the things that are considered manhood are just like things that you just should know in life. Like changing a tire could be something that you just know how to do, or it's just a skill you possess rather than something you learn from manhood, or
something you just need to know. Like me as a woman, I need to know how to change a tire. It might not be a man around. It's not a man around. For me. So I get that.
Or like cutting grass, or like what he said, cutting grass or cleaning a bathroom. Like, as the man of the house, that's things you need to know how to do, but those are also just life skills that you need to possess.
Right.
You're gonna be doing that at some point in life, whether you like it or not. Honestly, it's just
life skills shouldn't have a gender.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of people out here that are struggling in the life skill department because they're waiting for some man to come do it. But then there's some things that it's not in that man to do sometimes. Like every man doesn't know how to take an engine out the car and put a new one in. But sometimes I think that's what society might say. that you're supposed to do as a man. What's something that you've had to relearn, maybe about communication, emotions, or love? And let me know if you don't understand the question.
They matter, that they're real, that you have them. You're a human being. And as a human being, you're going to feel sadness. You're going to feel anger. You're allowed to feel happy at times when, you're supposed to be happy. That's just what came to my mind at that point. I could probably go it more in depth.
No, yeah.
That's just what
Just
came.
kind of branching off of what he said, more so about communication. You're definitely going to get to a point in your life whenever you're with your partner and you have almost done everything that you could think of, whatever you might have on your bucket list or whatever that might be. And you get to like I don't know what it's called, but you get to like a certain phase where like you're kind of like comfortable in your relationship. And it gets to a point where your communication has lessened because you pretty much know their everyday schedule. You know what they're going to do at this time and at that time, but you still have to communicate what you're doing. And I feel like that, not the downfall, but the start of every argument is because of bad communication. Like you're not communicating how you feel in this moment and you're saying, I'm fine when you're really not fine. Or you're saying like, this isn't wrong. Or you're saying like, this is wrong because of you when it's not because of them. It's just because you didn't explain how you felt in that moment and you're just letting it carry on. And now you're making the situation worse. So I definitely feel like communication is a big thing. Like it definitely goes a long way. And I'm still obviously myself learning how to do that, like how to not be so last minute about things and how to not like just making sure that like I'm doing the things that I say that I'm going to do. Because when you do communicate poorly, then that person loses trust in you. Like you say that you're going to be here by 7:30, you're late or you don't show up. And they're going to think that, okay, now I got to tell him to be here at 7. So he actually gets here by 7:30, so just things like that is something that I think is a big factor. It's a big thing for sure.
So when it comes to emotions, like when you were a little younger, did you feel like guys can't cry? Like you said, maybe you felt like you weren't supposed to be sad or you got to be tough all the time. Have you had to unlearn and relearn some of what you might have told yourself as a younger kid versus who you are becoming now? Are you giving yourself permission to feel when you have feelings?
But people say like, when you're a man, you can't be vulnerable. Like you aren't allowed to openly express yourself. You're supposed to be like stone cold. You're supposed to just get things done and move on to the next thing. Everybody has emotions. Like it's not just because females are more sad on a certain day does not mean that a male cannot also be sad on a certain day. Like, everybody's going to feel the same way no matter how you put it. And I feel like for me, I don't cry often, but it's not because I know that I can't cry. It's just because I don't like when people see me in that light. And I feel like that is a part of that has to do with just what I've seen on social media. Like you see, like you're supposed to be gritty. You're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to just suck it up. Like it's just what it is. Like you do what you got to do to get it done. Just seeing things like that is the reason why I feel like emotionally for me, I'm not as open about certain things as other people might be. And why people might think that I'm more like not nonchalant per se, but just not as energetic as people might want me to be. And that's just because I feel like I've instilled in my mind that I can't cry in front of people because then they see me in a position of weakness. And even though that's not the truth, that's still kind of how I feel. And I have been trying to maneuver out of that area and really just like allow myself to just express my emotions, but still in an appropriate way, like right moment, right time kind of thing. Not saying like I have to cry every day or cry out of nowhere, but just knowing that it's okay to cry and it's okay to be sad and it's okay to feel a way about this. Like you don't have to bottle it all up and just like suck it up basically. Like you can express yourself without having the fear of being judged by someone else.
It's like, some days I can suck it up, but today I don't know how much I want to suck it up.
Yeah.
And giving yourself permission to do that. I get that. I love that you said that you're still trying to figure out how to maneuver around, wanting to maybe not cry in front of other people and present yourself as tough, but also understanding that if you do, that doesn't mean that you're not tough.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, emotionally, it's something I heard a real life creator that I follow say before, but it's like, you couldn't wake up every day eating like a bowl of nails and oil for breakfast, being gritty. Well, like
some harsh cereal, bowl of nails and oil.
like it's like a
It's a pun. I know
I
what you
get
mean.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was
Gritty.
just being gritty, just being what people say a man is, but you know that deep inside that you feel things and you've been, despite what you've been dealing with and what you have been dealing with, you lock it away because of what other people say the definition of a man is
Yeah, for
and
sure.
what has been instilled into your mind as to what a man is. And now you think, I can't cry because if I do, that shows that I'm weak and that people are going to take advantage of me.
For sure.
You know, I think people that know the both of you guys know that, like, when it comes to displaying emotions, y'all are fairly different. Even affection, we know that Christian is a hugger, and it's always funny to me when Christian will try to hug you, or you probably be like, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
for
I
sure.
think now you're starting to, it might be two things. It might be you just accept that this is how Christian shows his love for his brother.
Yeah.
But you also might be softening up a little bit, maybe to
Yeah.
be like, this isn't weird. This doesn't have to feel weird
Yeah.
for two bros to hug each other.
Yeah, for sure. That's and that's another thing. Like, most guys think that whenever like you do meet, not even when you do meet, most guys think that you can't talk about how you feel to another male. Like, you think that whenever you do have to dump your emotions or you have to vent to someone, you have to vent to a female because you think they're going to understand you better. Like, they're not going to judge you. They've probably been through that before, but it's also okay just from a male to male thing to, like, to be comfortable with sharing how I feel to another male without having the fear of being judged. And that goes to back again to who you surround yourself with and the friends that you choose, because depending on who you hang around and who the friends that you have, you would know, hey, if I tell this guy this, he's going to support me and be there for me. But if I tell this person this, he's going to think I'm weird. He's not going to be my friend anymore. So it just goes back to who you surround yourself with and who you truly consider a friend in that moment, because everyone's going to want to be your friend, like, at your highest and when they see you happy, but they're not going to always want to be there for you when you call them at 11 p.m. and you're going through something. They're not going to really want to hear that side of you. And the ones that do are people that I would consider like real friends, and the ones that I can really just open myself up to without having to worry of them spreading this to somebody else or them making fun of it or making fun of me to somebody else, and just being comfortable in that environment with them without having to feel weak.
Yeah, that's good.
I know we were talking about relationships a bit back, but like I was thinking what he was talking about is like when a relationship becomes too comfortable that you're not explaining anything. It's like when a relationship becomes less of a relationship and more of like a schedule. That's when it's
That's
That's
that's an aha moment right there. A schedule. Wow.
It's more of a job, like a 9 to 5. You're not really
Yeah.
enjoying what you're in.
yeah.
That
it's
was
like-
good. That was good.
So Chris he just kind of responded to the question about allowing guys, bros, males to just show affection, talk to one another, share emotions with one another. And I said that, you know, you're a hugger and you say I love you every single time. Have you ever felt like you had to change who you are based off of how the person, specifically a guy, received that? Like maybe even your brother, do you feel like you had to be different with Kobe because he wasn't really accepting that? Or are you just I'm gonna give you the hug anyways. I'm gonna tell you I love you anyway.
So that's
Yeah.
really what it was. It was like, it was, at first, it was like, I didn't know if he was comfortable with it. Like, I didn't want to make him uncomfortable by giving him a hug. But then I was like, you know, you're my brother. You know, you're stuck with me for life. So
Yeah.
like it or not, I'm
I'll give you a hug. I'm gonna take the hug. I'm gonna get a hug. All right. So, are y'all enjoying this?
Yeah, it's not.
Hey, this is the best conversation we've had in a long time. Most of our time together is usually involving games and food, but just talking it out like this is pretty cool. So, what would you say the hardest lesson life have taught you so far?
People aren't always going to treat you nice. They're not going to always be nice to you. They're not always going to be there when you expect them to, or show up when they said they would. People aren't always going to stick to their word, and you just have to learn to either like not expect that to happen, but know when those habits are building in a person, you know.
Habits. Yeah.
That's good.
And to
'Cause-
not let them
Yeah, now I was just going to say, I like that you use the word habits because, you know, in all reality, we're human. So sometimes somebody might not be able to show up when they said they're going to show up, or they might have a bad judgment moment and not be as nice as they should be in that moment, but those are like sometimes human experiences. But when it's repetitive, it becomes a habit. And at that point in time, now I need to figure out how to prepare myself for this. People are disappointing. I remember around your age, I used to look at it like I'm not going to expect anything out of you or from you, because if I don't expect it, then I won't be disappointed. I don't know how fair that is now, because I do have a lot of people that truly do show up for me. So I want to honor that and not just always be like thinking the worst. But one thing that I know is that I'm just at a space in life where I let people be who they are. And if who they are doesn't feel like it honors me or it disrespects me, then I have to start setting some boundaries and recognizing the patterns or the habits that they display. So people are disappointed, but I mean, you could tell me after the show who we need to fight. If somebody ain't being nice, bro.
It felt real personal.
Right. What you got, Kobe?
I would definitely say just the fear of the unknown, knowing that life's going to give you curveballs all the time, whether you want to catch them or not. Opportunities are going to fly by. You might be driving on the way to work and you're already 30 minutes late and you get a flat tire.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can't go to work that day and you have to deal with an angry manager. And you just have to know like that it's going to be okay, that not everything's going to go the way that you want it to. And you have to not expect to be disappointed, but just know to accept it and to learn from it and to move on. You like just know that if I'm not performing how I want to this day, or if something doesn't go right how I want you this day, it's just because it's all in God's timing.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to like get into like a religion title here, but
Be who you are, bro.
it's like he has a plan for you, and it's set that way for a reason. Like he's not gonna create a flat tire if there wasn't a reason to have that flat tire that day. For all you know, your work could have been robbed and 3 people died, and he just saved you from that.
Dramatic.
And like the flat tire just saved you from that, or it could be just like, who knows, but it's all in God's timing. And it's just, you have to learn to, once you truly accept him and you understand that everything that he's doing is for a reason, you can kind of like almost like be more laid back about the disappointing things that happen, because you know that this happened for a reason, because he wanted it to happen, or else it wouldn't have happened at all. I have been greatly starting to understand that more, with just not exactly, you should still expect for people to do what they say they're going to do, but if it doesn't happen, it's just because God didn't want it to happen. That's something that's allowed me to not only raise just my patience with understanding that and truly accepting that, but also it's allowed me to just draw myself closer to him, because now I'm understanding like this is all a part of your plans. Like if this isn't gonna happen, it's just not gonna happen, and that's just what it is, and I'm okay with that.
Right. I mean, God does allow these things to happen, but everything that happened to us wasn't in his plan. Sometimes it was us deviating from his plan, and we created that. You know, the tire might have been flat because you've been driving on those ball tires for 5 months when you should have been got some new tires. But even in the midst of some of the things that I have created for myself that cause me to be in this boat, in this struggle, in this moment that doesn't feel good, God is still God, and he's still good, and he can use those moments to still show up in our life. So I love God for that right there, is how he, even when I make my poor decisions or I created my storm, he still comes in and he still be a refuge in those moments. I mean, I wasn't planning on preaching either, but look, you talk about God, we're going to talk about God.
Hey, it happened for a reason. It just came too.
He plants a seed and he's going to water it every day for a certain amount. But occasionally you might decide to come over and water it a little bit, or there might be a drought and you might need to water it some more, but you don't do it when it's needed. And now, you know, the tree might not grow to where it needs to, or where it should be.
Yeah.
Or it might not be able to grow because you put too much into it, or didn't put enough into it.
So that was good.
Because it is a such thing as watering something too much.
Oh yeah. For sure.
You done dealt with a few plants. Remember that one plant we was trying to keep alive for you? You probably watered that thing a little too much.
God gives us a seed and he waters it, but you're putting extra water on top of what he's already done for
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
And sometimes you can deviate from his path by doing more than what he's calling you to do.
Mhm.
So that's definitely,
It's almost like the seed is in the ground, trust.
yeah.
You gotta wait, you gotta trust, you gotta know. Sometimes we get in a way and start doing too much because we want it to show up faster. We want it
Yeah.
to bloom faster. We want the crops to grow faster,
Yeah.
but we gotta trust the process. Take the time.
Yeah.
Trust the process. That's good. Last few questions, guys. What's one personal goal that you're working towards right now?
Right now, I would say I have 3 goals that I'm working towards. One goal is just for mental and physical health, just trying to improve that, like eating better, working out, trying to read books, listen to a couple of your podcasts, just trying to expand my knowledge further, expand my vocabulary further.
Mhm.
Just trying not to limit myself to just one niche and just one like section of life and just trying to build upon that and just grow as a person. A second thing that has been really big for me is just getting closer to God and just truly learning who he is. And that's something that you can continue to do. Just some little things like Bible study and just reading the Bible here and there, or just like posting little quotes here and there on Instagram, just trying to spread his word is something that I've done before, but I know that I need to do and something that I definitely want to do because that's what I feel like I've been called to do. So that's something that I'm also working towards a lot. And a third thing is just patience, just not having patience with others, but having patience with myself. Like
Mhm.
when I make a mistake, not so quick to get frustrated
Yeah.
and making that mistake worse, or whenever a situation is escalating, not to yell and make it escalate even worse. Like, just having the patience to truly like break down what's in front of you and understand what's happening and just trying to make the positive out of the negative. Like just
Good.
trying to make just trying to make life better as a whole.
It's good.
For sure.
One I thought about is like, I wouldn't say being emotionally intelligent, but like, not laying it off as just, oh, what
Wow.
happened, just leave it in the past. Just like to bring it in, recognize that it happened, whether it be a mistake or a moment that I was happy, not to just lay it off as like, oh, I was happy in that moment. Okay. It's like I can go back to that moment and be
Mhm.
happy, know how I felt in that moment,
Yeah, enjoy it.
enjoying it,
Good.
being
That's
me in
good.
that moment.
I think that's good. I think we all might could figure out how to sit in moments a little bit more, especially our good moments. Life moves so quickly and we always have something to do and something going on. And I mean, both of you guys have busy schedules. So sometimes we don't allow ourselves to just enjoy the moments.
Yeah.
It's good. What does success look like for you? Not just money or fame, but what is real success?
Success to me is something that you've done that you feel good about, even when others might not feel good about it. Like something that you took the time to learn and to actually grow in, and that you feel like you've done a great job at it, even when others think that what he's doing is mediocre. There's a reason why we have like people that work at fast food and people that work at all these things, because if we didn't, we're not going to eat. Like, and those little things matter. Even people that make 6 figures a year might look down on those that only make 60,000 a year. But when you go through Chick-fil-A, if you don't have
Mhm.
Chick-fil-A workers, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're not going to
Yeah.
get Chick-fil-A. Like
Yeah.
just little things like that. Just having fun in what you're succeeding in life in
Mm-hmm.
is what I feel like is the most important. Whether it is 60,000 a year, whether it's 500,000 a year,
Yeah.
you shouldn't allow that to determine your overall enjoyment in what you're doing, because
Mhm.
in the long term you're gonna look back here and be like, yeah, I have 500K a year, but what did I gain from that?
Yeah. So what is something that you feel like you feel successful in that you've done thus far?
I actually feel pretty, and this was never a thought in my mind, but the military was a very last minute decision. Like a month or two after my first semester at Brevard, it just kind of happened
Mhm.
almost. And I'm not gonna act like I obviously wasn't nervous, because I don't know what I'm getting myself into. Like I'm having to shave my head bald. I'm getting yelled at by drill sergeants and this and that. But when I actually finished, I'm like, I did that. Like I was 16 weeks, like with no family, barely a phone. Like I'm having to listen to other people. I'm having to run, jump, sprint, crawl whenever they tell me to. And it's like, not many people are willing to go out and do that kind of thing. And you just have to know that, or I just had to tell myself that, like, you should be proud of what you did, because not many people are willing to go out and try new things. They like to stay in their pod and be where they're comfortable in, but that's not always what needs to happen.
Yeah, it's true. So, Christian, what about for you? What does success look like for you? Not just money, not just fame, but real success.
I mean, success to me looks like me just being happy where I am in life with what I'm doing. Just overall, I won't say peak happiness, but like up to that moment in life that I am happy with what I've built and how I've built it. And just like I'm able to be myself in what I've built. Like I've built my own, I guess I'll say castle. I'll use it as I built it. I chose where I wanted to place every brick. I've chosen where I want every room to be. And now when I finished it, I get to
Proud.
be proud of it.
To enjoy that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So, what do you want to tell, or what would you tell your 30-year-old self to remember about this stage that you're in life?
Something that I would tell my 30-year-old self if I was to look back into my late teens, early 20s, is just enjoy what you have now, enjoy your youth while you have it now, because the older you get, the less you're going to be able to do. I want to say physically, mentally, you're going to grow, you're going to have more wisdom, but just enjoy the moments that you have now. Be a kid while you can be a kid, because once you actually step out into the real world, that's when everything is going to click. Like a switch is going to come on and you have to be serious about what you're doing. Just like having a childhood and just being able to be yourself while you still can be is, I think, something that everybody should like get to enjoy and get to experience. So that's something that that I'm still trying to do now. Just being me, just going out for a run while I still can, and just going to hang out with friends while I still can, and just going to concerts while I still can, and just traveling the world while I still can. Because once you reach a certain age, those things you can't do anymore, because you're either going to have a busier schedule or you won't just be as mobile. Cause you never know what's going to happen. So
That's true.
just enjoying life while you still can. And it's something that I would definitely tell myself in my 30s.
Okay.
I mean, he mostly said what I was going to say, but just enjoying life while you still can, while you have the time to enjoy it. For example, my aunt said, I don't know if you remember when she said this, but she said she just used to be going to hotels and exploring the world from just to do it. Because like she knows she can't do this now because of her husband and her child. She's going to be thinking, are they okay? Did something happen? It's just a worry, and it's going to feel like a chore if you try to do it early 30s when you have a full family, rather than now when you don't have much to worry about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I mean, and I would say, that's something that we as adults have to work on, because I would almost challenge that to tell people my age now that we can still have those things. But I think it's important that we start to think about those things in our young or teenage years, knowing that like maybe I need to wait a little longer before I start having kids, or it's okay to not feel the society pressure of I have to get married as soon as I finish college, all those different things. You can say, I might want to travel a little bit before creating those relationships that might make me have to be like, do I have enough money to buy 3 plane tickets instead of 1 plane ticket?
Yeah.
But also, if that is your life, still giving yourself permission to say, it's okay if I leave honey and the kid home this time and I go check into this hotel for this weekend or whatever, just to have a me weekend or time away. So, I definitely think life can be a little more challenging. And as we get older, there's a whole lot more pressure on us, a whole lot of more things that we have to take care of, where we're not able to be such a free bird. But I would almost also challenge us to, and that's what the Self First podcast wants to do as we work through some things over for this first season, is to create avenues and just motivation to want to set up a life that still puts ourselves first, and we don't get ourselves lost in the hustle and bustle of life. If you could leave a message for parents who are raising teenagers or young adults, what would you tell them?
Just to let them be themselves. Like, whether they like it or not, at some point they're going to move out and they're going to become their own person. Like, you're not going to be able to control every single part of their life forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's better to let them figure out who they are now than when they're like 25 and still trying to figure out what house they want, because you've been I don't like the word, but nitpicking everything they do. Just like, yeah, just let them be them, because they're human. At the end of the day, they're human. They're going to be themselves.
One thing that I would tell parents who's raising teens or adults is to just continue to be a parent for them. To just continue to, whether he or she is 15 or whether they're 36, they're still going to want that motherly love and that fatherly love. So just because they turn 18, this shouldn't mean you should switch off. Okay, they're on their own, and you should just let them do their own thing. They still are going to want guidance. They're still going to ask for guidance, even when you think that they have it all figured out and that they've got their first apartment and they're finally doing things right. They're still going to call you like, what kind of chicken do we used to get? Or
Do I like white meat or dark meat?
Yeah, or like what kind of do we get the red cap or blue cap and milk? Like they're always going to call for little things like that just because they're an adult, but they're not an experienced adult. It's just they're still learning how to be one. So I feel like still being a parent, no matter what age or what stage your kid is in life, something that I would definitely tell them to do.
Yeah.
For sure. Because you can always learn.
Because that's something that, we know that you're becoming a young man. You're 20 now, and it's like, let him figure it out, but also want to give you that advice. So do you find yourself sometimes wanting to reject that part of your parents wanting to give you advice, or are you inviting that in?
For sure. It definitely, there are some times like when parents go out of their way to give advice, like you say, hey, how do I do this? And they're like, no, I think you should do this. And that's when you're kind of like starting to tune them out because you're not getting the answer that you think you want, when in reality they are just trying to help. So yeah, I definitely think that. And that's just another part of becoming an adult, is again, like just knowing when to take in that criticism and knowing when to block it out. Yes, it might not be the answer that you want, but it's the answer that you should have heard. And that's what's going to help you ultimately over what you think you want to hear, is being told what you should hear.
Gotcha.
So that is definitely, yeah.
That's a good lesson for me, because I'll be over here like, I know Kobe tired of hearing me say this or whatever.
No, for sure.
And wanting to give you that space to just do it your way, but also, wanting to, if you need the guidance, if you need the advice, then making sure that you have that option as well.
It's a good reminder, because there's times when I'm comfortable in what I'm doing, and I think that I can show up here 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, no big deal, but you're not thinking about how they feel when you're showing up 5-10 minutes late. So just reinstilling accountability like into me and just making sure that I'm still on top of what I need to be on top of is definitely like a good reminder to have, because when you are comfortable in your area of life or in your area of expertise, no matter what you are, negative things can happen and that can affect you. So like, yeah, just getting like a subtle reminder of what to do and how to do it.
And be better.
Yeah, and be better at like what you're doing is good to have, for sure.
Okay. Well, I definitely thank you guys for being open and honest and sharing this space with me. I was a little nervous to ask, would y'all join me in this conversation? Because again, like this might be a little bit out of your norm, or I know that I'm okay with a lot of things, but I know that you might not be. So when y'all said yes to the podcast, I was grateful for that. And I hope that y'all know that y'all allowing yourself to be open and honest in this space, it will be good for somebody to hear, even if it's just one person. I hope you both know that I'm absolutely proud of you guys and everything that you're doing and have done in life. I've always just wanted to be someone that helps you grow, to give you wisdom and to give you the space to just become who you are. So I hope that you feel like I'm doing a decent job at just being a positive person in your life and not trying to dictate your life or live my life through you guys. I just really want to see you grow, and watching you grow has been an absolute blessing. I know that I'm going to be all smiles when I look behind the scenes and start to edit this episode, because you guys are really great. Your mind is great. Your spirit's great. And I'm excited to share that with the world. So thank you for being here. And I think that's it. Y'all feel like that's it?
That's all I got to say.
All right. Hey, thank you all for joining us for this episode of the Self First Podcast. Listen to the kids, bro. We will be back next week with a brand new topic. Have a good one.